Hey everybody, it's really cold, but if you want to bear with me for a moment here in the cold mountains of Japan, I'd like to tell you what I was up to this weekend. I learned something very interesting. I decided to check up on an acquaintance of mine from when I was a kid. Well, acquaintance is a loose word there. I knew about it, but it didn't know about me. No human, no creature of any sort, instead just a piece of technology. In fact, it was the Voyager spacecrafts. Two spaceships, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, that left the Earth 33 years ago on an adventure into space. Their primary mission being, oh, look at the dripping water on that basin. Isn't that neat? Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? Let's take a look. Drip, drip, drip. So nice. Sorry for all the distractions. It's really pretty. Anyway, the primary mission of the two Voyager spacecraft were to explore the gas giants, the huge planets on the outer part of our solar system, mainly Jupiter and Saturn. And they also visited some other planets, including a very interesting moon Titan, which is the largest moon of Saturn. Wonderful, tantalizing, amazing information was returned from those adventures into the outer part of our solar system. And then, basically, after an incredible amount of media presence as that information was shared with the world, the magnificent photos were seen by everybody, including myself, really prompted me on an interest in astronomy. After that, news basically fell silent. Nobody really heard much, at least not in the lay public, about the Voyager spacecraft, including me. I didn't know what was going on. 33 years later, it's now that time, I decided to check up on them and see what they're doing. Heck, I didn't even know if the spacecraft were still operating. I thought, what the heck, I'll have a look. So I did a little research this weekend and I found out some wonderful information. I'd like to share it with you. First of all, the spacecraft are still operational. They are indeed sending back information to us, and it's very interesting information. Here we go. I'm going to focus on Voyager 1 because it's the furthest one out. Voyager 1 basically is on a track out of the solar system, and it's going to be the first human-made object to leave the solar system altogether. It's already the furthest object from the Earth, a human-made object from the Earth. And it just has an important milestone, or we think it has. The sun generates not only light and heat, but it also generates what's called the solar wind. Maybe you're familiar with the solar wind. Solar wind is basically a stream of particles emanating from all parts of the sun out into space, and they basically flow out like sun rays do, but they're tiny little atomic particles racing out through space, and they cause a lot of trouble for spacecraft and electronic items. And they also cause the beautiful aurora borealis, and the northern and southern lights. So they're very interesting, and they do a very important function in terms of they basically blanket our solar system in a little bubble. It's like a solar wind bubble. And these particles are relatively warm compared to the particles deeper in space. And this outer edge of the bubble is an interesting place where the particles, basically their outward velocity slows down to zero. And it looks like Voyager 1 has just passed that zone. And that means that it is nearing the edge of the influence of our sun's solar wind. What will it encounter when it leaves the bubble of the solar wind? Well, it's going to enter into a region of interstellar space between the stars in our galaxy, where there is another type of wind that I had never heard of. It's called the interstellar wind. And compared to the relatively warm solar wind, the interstellar wind is pretty cold. And although it's very fast, moving fast. And our spaceship, our Voyager, has detectors, and I'm using the word "R" in terms of humanity. I think these things belong to all of humanity, and it has detectors on it that allow it to detect the motion of these particles through space. It's a very fascinating situation that the spaceship is in. It's getting ready to be the first object to leave our solar system altogether in that way. What will it discover out in interstellar space? What information will it bring back while its instruments continue to operate? And what about Voyager 2? Well, Voyager 2 is on the same type of a course, although in a different direction, and it will be leaving the solar system as well and bringing back information. And these spaceships will report about what exists outside of the influence of our solar system for quite a while, and maybe one day we'll send out spaceships that will overtake them and tell us what's even further out. But for now, These spaceships are two of the most adventurous we have yet created. Their wonderful journey continues, 33 years and counting, little antique spaceships. Compared to today's technology, they would be rendered antiques. Antique spaceships sending back weak signals from the depths of space at the edge of our solar system. Fascinating, very pleasurable weekend of reading. I enjoyed. Take care, everybody. I'm going to hit the stop button before my hands freeze. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.